the year 2023, the age-old Fringyeng Yam Festival was revived. Hundreds of sons and daughters of Fringyeng origin, drawn from home and out of home, rallied on their ancestral land in the company of friends, relatives and well-wishers from neighboring communities and villages to experience the Yam Festival. The great success recorded that 2023 necessitated the holding of the festival's second edition. It was on Saturday, December 28, 2024, that the ceremonial ground in Fringyeng was again occupied by lovers of culture. Early in the morning, preparations started in various homes. With the dropping down of sun rays from the skies, drying up dew that had accumulated on grasses and trees around, the custodians of the Ifu Eta, an appellation for the Fringyeng Yam Festival, took to the borders of their community to perform the rites that involved planting some concoctions of special herbs in the ground across the roads entering Fringyeng from neighboring communities, villages and subdivisions like Oshe in Jikwa.
This is the border separating Bengwi Central Subdivision and Jikwa Subdivision. On my right, we are in Bengwi. On my left, we are in Jikwa. They said there is a stone somewhere up there that they look at it as the boundary stone demarcating the borders. So it's the first time in my life ever come right to this spot at this boundary separating these two subdivisions in Momo division. We continue to bring you updates from the Fringyeng area as we are telling you what's transpiring relating to the Fringyeng Yam Festival that is in its second edition after being suspended before the outburst of the Anglophone crisis.
Ifu Eta wo te ten aborabot bebeng efu nem ta fare mesiwo nem ta mesiwo so ne la aborabot te aborabot ni wijigo lo mane wijigo we tia ya si lu bon ay men te make it aborabot mote ga kun bamba na fa kamba fa kanu korochong enu na te ngo jaman yes inem ba bon bom grand pikin ba te soro nora fa an kumta kan ta fa anaka ka
The exercise went on for at least an hour, involving riding on very bumpy and rocky roads, using motorcycles and at times trekking. The purpose of this traditional rite, as we learned, is to cleanse the land. While the traditionalists were on the field performing the rites, back in various homes, intensive cooking of varied dishes went on. All the dishes were traditional and very yummy. The major role played by Fringyeng women during the Yam Festival is the cooking of food.
Berka ba fa azin ba fa go to ber mi jimu gun nga na bo to etie me mambanga abo onanga go mban ba tona pon tie top tie ko tie tungom tar an ti bana go faru waga den na jigumbo chimba jinga kan chira jiga nga me break abo to jiga me ngar fu for ngar ku in bono yimi Fringyeng bono yinga na bo munono anya fa ku inna mbetama chimba gwe so za china ichin barti konde ga ne ga mo ayamba ichina chimba wuri tekan na bu zenga so ene wana yi no namre ni wo kamara za zombi uchena so na bu wo wo kwini jim according to chintifa tradition one is a chini to zing na never zing.
Fringyeng was previously an enclaved community till of recent that the area is being gradually disenclaved through the provision of social amenities like schools, hospitals, roads, water and electricity. The people here depend fully on subsistence agriculture for their livelihoods. Unfortunately, there is still the lack of communication network in Fringyeng. It is in Fringyeng that one can still boast of living life as it was in the days of old before the advent of modernism. As the last-minute preparations were ongoing in various homes, a few men began gathering on the ceremonial ground, sharing some palm wine and discussing while listening to some good old-timers music. Before we continue with the Yam Festival, we will for now take you around Fringyeng to discover social life there. Amongst the social amenities in Fringyeng is an integrated health center built by the Cameroon government. It is here that the people go for their health needs. The beneficiary population had sometimes in the past raised some money and implanted a solar electrification of the building. There is also a government primary school in Fringyeng.
This is the bridge going to government school Fringyeng. From the nature of the bridge, you can tell the crisis is being through. It is a footpath, very bushy, and we are heading to go see the structures of government school Fringyeng and how they look like.
When we visited the school, we realized it has 2 blocks of various classrooms. The first is very old and dilapidated with fallen bricks. It was built many years back by the community until several years after, before the government then came and built a modern block of classrooms there. The school is currently functioning, though with a drastic drop in enrollment, as many parents had been forced to send their children to go study out of Fringyeng due to the Anglophone crisis. Fringyeng also has a community hall in which meetings and other occasions are often held. Not far from the hall is a market. The Fringyeng weekly market used to pull hundreds of buyers and sellers from neighboring villages and communities, but that was then. Unfortunately, now the market is a shadow of itself, as a greater portion now lies in the wild, with buildings taken over by grass and trees.
Fringyeng is an enclave place. Fringyeng is in the valley, and to say the little I know about the place, I've been here. This is almost my 5th time, and the place is good. The climate here is good. Culturally, we have almost the same way of doing culture. Behind you can see there is a shrine here. This is where libation is done when they want to do their annual festival. They call it the Ifu. They come and do pour libation here. They call their ancestors. They get up and they do whatever thing they want to do. Here you see this is the market, dilapidated buildings because of the crisis that we have in the northwest and southwest region. So many people have taken on their toes to leave the place. So you can find little huts in the grass, an indication that the owners are not around because of this crisis. Right below there you can see some buildings. You can still see some buildings,
yes.
An indication that it extends right to the raffia bush. It used to, but this time around it is not. Ngamungo, the people of Mbengegang, the people of, they even come all the way from Bafut subdivision, they call it Chobo. Yes, they come from there to sell. They come from other parts near neighboring village to sell granules, to sell other articles. So, but this time around, you can see the environment is not the way it's supposed to be.
Those of us who were born in the 70s, 80s, 90s and early 2000s will still recall this particular structure during Christmas and other feast days, where sticks are pinned like this with palm fronds and it's not fenced like this. You will recall how we used to have posters of boom, 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 or disco, disco, disco show, and there will be where we have Fringyeng, when this day, time, 6 p.m. till dawn, aim to do this or that. DJ in Fringyeng, we have DJ Nixon, and you used to enter here on condition that you present your hand and a stamp is placed on it. There's usually what we call a katika, the gate man. Once you have the stamp, you get in well dressed on the Christmas day with money that you have removed from your bank after you must have scattered it, and you get to the boom boom area. So this is where in Fringyeng things happen. The snacks, the lounge, the VIPs and the like. This is the original one where we started in Fringyeng. This is the main man in Fringyeng. They call him DJ Nixon. Today we have DJ Kawasaki, DJ Softer, DJ whosoever. But in Fringyeng, you cannot try with DJ Nixon. He is the one that makes things run here. He has beer, he has every brand of drinks. So I would like to find out from DJ Nixon, how was Christmas Day in Fringyeng 2024?
Oh, Christmas is very nice, बहुत nice.
How was this place? Just tell us how. In fact, even for Pigeon, how the place be day? Tell me how the place be day.
The place will be very function. Yes, they live no problem. What to go?
If it flop,
The shop.
tight.
Yes.
Any man we own, any man we own.
Yes.
Okay, some people they for some side they call that VIP.
VIP they have one corner inside.
Okay, VIP today for her.
Yes. So they pay 500 francs.
Okay. Okay, gate fee for enter been at 500. For that whole time we been at 300. Single 250 couple. This time around price don't climb up at 500.
Yes, 500.
And they pay.
They pay.
They still put stamp for hand or how they do get person pay at
No, they put stamp.
Okay, stamps today.
Yes.
When man stamps so and you still get blue bob.
Yes.
I'm saying how much kind of music get now come? Because for that whole time we be hear some kind of funny sound the way when they begin today they will hear say check will be done at old time as them.
No, now so no play old time. I must play Nigerian sound.
Okay.
Yes.
All thing don't they modern.
What now? What play that old music? No man if you dance. Yes, that one must play for question place.
For that whole time them they used to dance so then shake domo to stay for or you don't try to lost.
No, try not to try to understand yourself.
Okay.
Yes.
Domo no dey get
First time with the domo.
Imano domo they say no I go that dance. You want shaking thing they for sure say like dey. All right, well thank you very much. Away now you make people them for Fringyeng, they still see a reason for live because they see solar dish or they see solar. In fact, yeah, the system they run on solar. We don't see even flat screen TV for they decoders them. So I mean, there's nothing. But for network in Fringyeng, if we show you live here in the night, you may want to leave Douala, leave Yaoundé, even live abroad to come to Fringyeng and meet DJ Nixon and experience that nightlife here in Fringyeng.
Nixon is a household name in Fringyeng. He is amongst the few youths of the area that believe in their homeland that they can make it there. Nixon is a big economic operator. He deals in electronics, goods of basic necessity, and runs a night joint. Nixon also sells petrol. He is a motorcycle repairer. He deals in motorcycle spare parts. He is an electrician and transporter. He has constructed a good house on the land of his birth and is living a good life there, looking fresh, healthy and well-to-do. Nixon has no plans of ever relocating out of Fringyeng no matter what. The last social amenity we went discovering is Presbyterian Church Fringyeng congregation. This is where Christians gather on Sundays to praise and worship God. Away from discovering social amenities in Fringyeng, we now take you back to the main activity of the day, the Yam Festival. By now, everything had been put in place for its proper commencement. As is always the case, the people have to march from the eater's compound on a line to the ceremonial ground nearby. The procession is done amidst choruses led by a masquerade, and upon arrival, a prayer to God is made, followed by speeches, and then other activities ensue.
For all things, you know the good and the bad. Come now, be with us. Now we will start. and time we will close for you, so that when we do all things successful, all honor and glory will be into your name. All the things put into your hand through your Son Jesus Christ, we pray. We thank you. Amen.
After the people have assembled and are seated, the various traditional dishes that had been prepared are then brought by the women in local carriers. The people try as much as possible to minimize the usage of modern things. The goal is to give the festival a perfect original touch as it was in the yesteryears before modernism.
This Yam Festival we are witnessing today was revised last year, and since the revision of this Yam Festival, a lot of good things have come into this our blessed village Fringyeng. And if you look around Fringyeng, which is one of the villages in Bengbi Central Subdivision of the Meta clan, it is the most blessed village in recent times. We witness the construction of road, more than about close to 6 different roads linking all the neighboring villages, and hydroelectricity, which you see everywhere, is shining, and people are very happy. Their faces are beaming with joy, and this is as a result of this Yam Festival. You know, our ancestors, they have a great role to play in our life, and when we always commemorate and think about them, they always join us in all our effort. That is why it is very important, wherever you are, you must always think of your identity, your culture, and your heritage.
The 2024 edition of Ifu Eta had very few speeches that were made. The main focus was consuming the yams and the rest of the dishes that had been prepared. It was an exceptional experience for those who partook in the festival for their very first time. The Fringyeng Yam Festival has been gaining grounds and is beginning to win the interest of many, especially those who love enjoying culture in its originality. Fringyeng elites and custodians of Fringyeng tradition intend to make the festival open to all and sundry during subsequent editions.
That is the plan we are having at hand, and many people have been calling that, oh, they will have wished to come, but the only thing is that we are making provision for them to travel safely to Fringyeng and join the people of Fringyeng to commemorate this Yam Festival. You know, it is an ancestral practice that generated when our great-grandparents migrated from Widikum, passing through Tatkon, before going to Zangbeng, Zangtabi, and before descending down to Fringyeng. So it is attracting everybody everywhere, and we are inviting everybody who wants to be part of this to join us next year.
One of the major reasons accounting for the resounding success of the festival has been the great love the people of the area have for their community. Despite its enclaved nature, her sons and daughters are doing everything possible to make Fringyeng conducive for human habitation. This by welcoming all development projects that come to their area, be them from the government of Cameroon, foreign bodies and partners, non-governmental organizations, religious denominations, or well-wishers. Before even waiting for others, They themselves often dip their hands into their pockets to raise money for the development of their land, most especially supporting the organization of the Yam Festival, thus gradually selling the image of Fringyeng to the rest of the world.
First of all, call the attention of all my brothers all over the world to know that your culture is your identity and it is your heritage. So if you don't have a rich identity and if you don't practice your heritage, then you are just lost. You are just like a dry leaf in the desert where any direction the wind blows, it will take you to. As of that, they are really doing a great effort because as compared to last year to this year, a lot of things have changed, a lot of renovation have changed, and it's thanks to the effort of all sons and daughters of Fringyeng who are living in and out of Fringyeng. They have contributed seriously and they have supported in one way or the other for the occasion to be a great success.
In the course of this our documentary, we have been trying as much as possible to avoid referring to Fringyeng as a village in order to avoid polemics whenever it is referred to as a village. The case of Fringyeng is not unique in the Metaland. There are others like Munam, Sang and Ja that have also been clamoring for autonomy, yet various traditional authorities in other villages in the Meta clan claim the people in these communities as theirs. However, to the people of Fringyeng, they themselves say they are a village and have justifications as to what makes them qualified to gain such status.
Fringyeng is a village, though not yet an autonomous village, but it's a semi-autonomous village due to some administrative bottlenecks, but without notwithstanding, every mechanism has been put in place and not in due time everything will be all right. Fringyeng will gain it autonomous as a full-fledged village because it has all what it takes to be a full-fledged village. Fringyeng harbors 3 primary schools, a health center, about 4 different Christian denominations, and a healthy population, and with 1 secondary school. And these are some of the things that, determine a people who deserve to be on their own. Just that administrative bottlenecks needs procedure.
At the end of the consumption of the festival's varied dishes and drinks, a Kwem dance group then took to the floor for animation. They were the lone dance group present that day.
Oh,
Our trip to discovering Fringyeng through the Yam Festival, otherwise known as Ifu Eta, that fateful Saturday, 29th of December 2024, was a memorable one. We went, we saw, we captured and documented for posterity. Thanks for keenly watching from start to finish. Continue trusting Bengwi Online for such. I have been Fongo P.A.